green light. Give it all you can.
All right, hello, hello. Welcome to the Olympus Racing League race at Zandvoort. I actually forgot what race number this is. It's race number something. We're currently dropping in on the battle for second place between Siski Toma. Then we've got another pack of three right behind them. Siski did have first place last race, I believe. No, Siski had second place, I believe. One of the two, but he was pretty high ranked. I do recall Toma was, I believe, P4. So both of these drivers definitely do have the pace to match each other. And right behind them, I also see another pack. That's Thierfeld. I believe he's last week's race winner. Anderson and Kraft behind him. And then Coven behind him, too. And the KFC chicken bucket. And then Scarda behind him as well. You got three Ferraris sandwiching that Nissan. When Coven runs wide there, that'll give Scarda an opportunity to catch up, maybe? Does Scarda get the move done? Scarda does not get the move done. Coven does somehow keep position here. There's a big gap to the rest of the pack now. Scarda looking for a move on Coven. Somehow, miraculously, Coven has kept that position But for how much longer, I wonder. Back to second place. Suski's actually in third. Ayrton in first. Slacker, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Stefan in second. I'm sorry, I don't want to mispronounce your name. This is actually a pretty tight battle for first, especially compared to the previous races we've had. Stefan in the Ferrari. He does have the slipstream here. I don't think it's going to be that much useful on a track like Zandvoort though. A lot of turns. Maybe some of that dirty air might be a bit bad for following. We have seen a lot of tight packs though. He gets dangerously close to Ayrton here. Going to try to force a mistake. Of course, these two battling for the race lead here. Stefan still following pretty closely though. The gap is only about 0.3 of a second. He does have slipstream to this main straight. Is he close enough? Ooh, it's really tight. Almost contact. So close. There's somehow not contact there. Somehow not contact there. These guys are professionals, clearly. Ooh, Slacker looking for the inside. Oh, that's contact! And he pit maneuvered. He pit maneuvered Ayrton. Ayrton into the wall. His teammate Suski trying to get by. Toma trying to get by. That's a yellow flag for sure. At least. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. It's generating an instant replay of that. We're going to need to see that again. Sounds like the purge alarm is going off, but it's just gathering its bases. My goodness. That looks like a racing incident. They were racing pretty close for quite a long time there. Yeah, let's take another look at this. Look at it from Slacker. Yup, just a pit maneuver there. Ayrton was going a bit slowly. Slacker did have the inside. I think it was a racing incident, to be honest. It was 100% a racing incident. And everyone just had to get by. Ayrton's still somehow in P4 though, I think. P5. Oh, he did go into the pit. Slacker generating about a 4-second gap here. Suski behind him. Tomer on his tail. And Theerfeld behind him as well. Theerfeld somewhat trying to catch up here. Might have a little tasting of slipstream. Anderson and Kraft have fallen behind the pack though. Hoven and Baumgartner too. A whole lot of pairs here. We've got a Ferrari in front, then we've got an Audi. I think Ayrton might be out of this race actually. Oh, that must be heartbreaking for him. But yeah, we've got the two Ferraris on the same team together, two Nissans. We've also got the two Aston Martins as well. Right now it's Slatner from Suski, from Toma, from Theerfeld, from Einerson, from Kraft, from Coben, from Baumgartner, to Durich, I want to say. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. To Nielet, to Johnson, to Morton, to Scarda, to Hernandez. I am so sorry if I butchered someone's name, by the way. Man, no, this battle for second looks to be heating up. It is a pack of three here. Suski, Toma, and Theerfeld all in different cars. Suski in the Audi, Toma in the Porsche. Theerfeld might be getting up on Toma. Yeah, Theerfeld does get the move done on Toma. Just a nice inside move there. Clean as you like. They're still pretty close though. Then Einerson wanting to get up there too. Yeah, looks like Ayrton has retired from this race. Gap's lengthening a little bit. Ooh, just barely misses that Ferrari. I think the Ferrari was coming out of the pits. Yeah, it might have been Scarda, yep. It was close. But Scarda cannot unlap himself here, I don't think. However, what is close is this battle for second place, though. These same three still dangerously close to each other. Some very close racing here in Zandvoort. Steerfeld does have slipstream on Suski. That gap looks to be closing only slightly though. Gap is about half a second. Really tight here. Suski does not like the stallion on his tail right now. Stefan still in the lead. Still has a comfortable lead. About 5 seconds now, but he still needs to pit. Keep that in mind. Some people have pit, some people haven't. And my connection is lost as they go flying into infinity and beyond. I'm going to have to rejoin here. Yep. Just another day in the office. Cars flying. What else is new? Taking a little bit to fetch the serverless though. Searching servers. There we go. That's a practice server. I'm gonna have to refresh a couple times here. Still fetching the server list. It does say I'm connected though. Pretty please. Pretty please. Heard you say pretty please enough, it gives you the server. Come on. No servers found. I went from 2 servers to 1 server to no server and to the correct server. Hopefully the connection is good enough to stream. And like my internet connection seems to be good because to YouTube it's fine, but I also do think stream is delayed a little bit. We do have the green light, which means we are racing again here in Zandvoort. Swagner is still in first. Stefan. Oh no, Stefan's in 5th. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. No, he's in 1st, yeah. That was confusing for a second. He's in 1st. He's probably surrounded by a whole lot of back markers though. And roundabout now is about the time where you'll really start to see the strategies at play here. When do you pit? Do you stay out that extra lap? How do you try and get an edge over people, especially in this tight 4-person, maybe technically 5-person pack here of Thierfeld, Suski, Toma, Ayrton. No, not Ayrton. Scarda, Ayrton, is retired. Oh, Toma does run really wide though. Gets a fistful of the grass. Does not lose any positions though. And I'm guessing, yeah, I'm guessing I lost connection there. As people break the fourth dimension, glitch through floors, just another day in Assetto Corsa Competizione. Just another day in the office, of course. My connection is still lost, which is great. Green light. There we go. The lights are green. Green light. You love to see it. Alright, let's turn to broadcasting cam. This pack is still somewhat close. There are some gaps starting to form. Thierfeld does have massive pace as we've seen in previous races. So just a little gap, about a 1 second gap is starting to form there. Then from Suzuki to Toma it's 0.7. From Toma to Ayrton it's about 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds maybe. This pack might be starting to split up a little bit. There might be a battle here going on for 9th place though. It's Coven and Kraft. Kraft creeping up on Coven here. Gap is about 1 second. Coven does not want this. Coven's going to look to try and get ahead here, but the gap is pretty large. It looks to be about a 30-second gap or so. Coven's going to want to keep the positions that he has. 9th place is still some solid points. Slight lockup, I believe, there. Yeah, just scrub both of them, scrubbing a little bit of time. It seems like our race leader has pitted. So has Einerson, so has Baumgartner. So Thierfeld is now our new race leader, but for how long though? Wonder when he's going to make his stop. Increasing the gap about 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds. And Toma trying to get something on Suzuki. Toma does want a little bit wide there. Toma's looking incredibly racy here, but he's just making these tiny little mistakes, getting a millimeter more curb. But in other parts of the track, he is improving on other times. Definitely a back and forth motion here. This tight pack. Thierfeld really wants to run away with this one. Ooh, and Toma does go into the pits here. Toma electing for the undercut on the other two. Coven and Kraft still a little bit close to each other. Ooh, and Baumgartner, the other KFC chicken bucket, on his tail as well. Small pack is starting to form here. Ooh, Kraft's really close to Coven on his tail here. Kraft is going to want to make a move pretty quickly. Both of them are being slowed down a little bit by all this race. Kraft's a slipstream. Kraft's not electing to make a move there. Cohen, very good defending here. Onto a short straight. About to enter the final corner, I believe. Let's see if Kraft will try something on the main straight. Kraft goes a little bit wide there. Losing a little bit of time. He does not want to do that. Now onto the main straight. Will they try anything here? No, it looks like Kraft might have, Cohen might have superior straight line speed. Or maybe not. Ooh, big lunge. And it's a bump. It's a bump. Kraft has bumped Coven. Still keeps position though. What a bump. Oh, into turn one. he got on those brakes extremely late, and I mean extremely late. Now the other KFC bucket's gonna look to capitalize here. I don't understand how he physically got on the brakes that late. Yeah, he had to use Coven as kind of like an extra set of brakes as a handbrake to stop him down. Now Baumgartner is hot on his tail. He's getting a fistful of dirty air though. I believe Kraft might be getting more dirty air from Coven though. Baumgartner might be looking for a move into Sector 2 or Sector 3. Baumgartner just looking for his options here. And by the looks of things, it looks like none of them have damage. Coven might have slight damage, light damage, rare maybe. Ooh, Kraft does hit the sidewall here. I think Baumgartner might have forced him wide there. Kraft goes extremely wide. Baumgartner does take the position. I did not see whether that was a bump or whether that was a racing incident. I don't know. They both did go wide there, so it looks like it might have been a bump. I am kind of biased towards the KFC chicken buckets, though. Kraft's looking for another move out of this main straight. Baumgartner keeps the position. Derek in second. I don't think he's pitted though. Everyone is pitting now. Toma in fourth. Suski in fifth. I believe both of them have pitted though. I believe Toma had the better strategy going for that undercut on Suski here. Because he is now ahead by about 2 seconds. Baumgartner and Kraft still looking pretty racy. The two Nissans will not want to race each other too much. Baumgartner is higher up in the total point standings though. Halfway through. Baumgartner getting really close to Coven. Going round, trying to go around the outside. Will he make the move stick? And I believe he does. Baumgartner from Coven from Kraft. Oh, that might be changing though. Coven and Kraft side by side. Kraft just got the edge. Does he? Coven going, has the inside line here. Coven in the inside. Coven does keep this position. So in this little posse here, it's Baumgartner from Coven from Kraft. Look, there might be in a little bit of an ocean here. Einerson, the next closest, quite a ways up. Ooh, Kraft's looking for something on Coven. Maybe through turn one. I don't think he tries it. He doesn't want a repeat of the previous lap. Toma in second place. Stefan in first, though. Toma actually getting pretty close to Stefan within 2 seconds. Looks like Toma might have had the best strategy out of that group from earlier. Thierfeld and Suski are still pretty close. Suski having the worst strategy out of everyone. Behind Thierfeld, behind Toma. This pack is still somewhat close, though. I mean, all it takes is going slightly wide in a corner, and then they will want to capitalize every time they get. It seems like Baumgartner has gotten away from the pack of Coven and Kraft just a little bit. Kraft's looking racy. I bet Coven has had to defend quite a lot of times here. Kraft really wants his position back. The Coven is fighting tooth and nail to keep it. Coven in P7. I don't know if Coven has made it stop yet. I believe he has, but I might be wrong. Baumgartner, I believe, has as well. Still really close. Stefan he still has a good consistent lead though, which is always good. It's always good. Utoma coming up on his teammate. I believe he's trying to lap him here. He's gonna try. Yup, team orders did come in. I think he got blue flag. Toma gets through pretty cleanly, which he will love. I don't think Tierfeld's getting through as cleanly though. The teammate coming in clutch for his bro. Goes into the marbles though, does Martin. He does eventually let Tierfeld pass. Team orders coming in clutch for Toma here. Ooh, Coven and Kraft. Tight battles. Ooh, Kraft does cut the corner quite a little bit there. Still on his tail. He's going to be looking for any chance he gets for the inside line here. Pretty close racing here. Ooh, Tierfeld does run wide a little bit. He does still have slipstream on Toma. I don't think he's close enough for a move on to turn 1. Going to Toma's wing view. No, he's not close enough for a move on to turn 1. However, is Kraft close enough for a move on Coven? That's a $1 million question right now. Still really close. Still on his tail. Coven cannot shake this guy. Onto the main straight. Who tries to not to give up the slipstream here. They are side by side. Going into turn 1. It's going to be a battle of the late breakers here. And it seems like Kraft might break later, but Coven does have the inside. Coven gets the inside. Does he get the move done? They're still side by side. They are still side by side, folks. Coven just barely edging out there. That was really close. That had the potential to be potentially race ending. Side by side through the main straight and through turns 1 and 2. And Coven just barely gets that out. He does get the inside line. Kraft did break later there, though. Coven with some impeccable defense. However, it is costing them time to Baumgartner, who has stormed ahead. Anderson and Morton. I believe Morton is the last car. Anderson to just get past him. Coven and Kraft still really close. Legitimately. I feel like Kraft could take that. Coven could take that. But Thoma on Tierfeld. Tierfeld going for the move on Thoma on the turn 1. Thoma does take a defensive line. I believe he does break later as well. He does keep the move. Tierfeld does have the inside though. Side by side. Might be a little bit of contact there. Tierfeld looking. Searching. Thoma stays ahead. But for how long? Tierfeld's still dangerously close. Gap is about 0.7 of a second. Tierfeld just right there on his tail. But Coven and Kraft. Coven miraculously still staying in the lead. What is this? 5-6 laps now? They've been within half a second of each other the entire time. Ooh, Kraft had to put on the brakes there. Coven still with the defense. Ooh, Thoma and Tierfeld. Tierfeld's going to try something here. They are coming up to some lapped cars. Going to be quite a few blue flags here. And Schlacker's right there. They can see him. Thoma can see him right there. It's just going to get past this lapped car. Tierfeld still behind Thoma. He's going to try something along this short straight. Into the final 2 corners. Thoma easily gets past that lapped car. Ooh, the lapped car does go into the sand a little bit. So he's going to try to get past as fast as possible into the main straight. Tierfeld will have slipstream. Thoma's trying to negate that as much as possible. They're coming up on side by side. The Lambo seems to have better straight line speed. It's a battle of the brakes here. Thoma up the inside on Tierfeld. Does he keep the position? Does he keep the position? It looks like it was a tight squeeze. A little bit of contact. Another tight squeeze. Tierfeld is forced to back off slightly. Still really close here though. Thoma with the inside line. Suski there as well. Oh, that's a really tight squeeze through that first section of corners. They're still tight on each other. Zandvoort is made for some great racing today. My goodness. The Lamborghini is still on the Porsche's tail. And speaking of still on their tail, how many laps has it been? What was it, lap 16? We're crashing Coven. We're close to each other. It's lap 22 now. And still, within half a second, crashes of Coven. This is for P7, folks. You'd think it's for the race lead how hard they're fighting. Of course, Coven wanting as many positions as possible. There's been a whole lot of contact between these two, but they're still dangerously close. Kraft desperately wanting to get a move done here. Out of the last corner goes Toma. Theophalt on his tail again. Theophalt looking to get slipstream. I don't think he's going to be close enough for a turn 1 move. He might be smart enough to not try the dive bomb here. Yup. He wants to preserve his car. There's still 20 minutes left in this race, folks. Toma does go wide into the marbles. Theophalt does get past, though. Just a slight mistake on turn 1. And Theophalt gets second place in this race. Suzuki wanting to look to get past Toma as well. Toma wanting to defend with his life, though. He will not want to let that by. Theophalt's next. Theophalt's got his sights on Slacker now. How do you say that? Slacker? I think I got that right. He is just racing in clean air. He's in the best possible conditions to just bring his car home. Theophalt, on the other hand, 1.4 seconds behind Toma. I mean, ahead of Toma, sorry. Toma and Suzuki, on the other hand, that is some tight racing as well. Crafts and Coven on your fourth hand that you have for sure. Still within half a second. Looks like there might have been some contact there. Crafts was forced to put on the emergency brakes there. For the first time in what seems like a millennia, the gap has increased to over half a second. Oh, and it's right back down. My goodness. What a tight race. What a tight race. Especially between these two here. The gap has increased to just about 1 second. Kraft still having slipstream. Kraft just go a little bit wide. He's still hunting. Suzuki, speaking of hunting, Suzuki hunting Toma into turn 3, 4? I don't know these turns too well, if you couldn't already tell. Oh, where's the camera going? Come on, cameraman. I didn't pay you for that. Cameraman, what is he? What is our cameraman doing? We need to hire a new cameraman. All right. Things are starting to settle down only slightly. Anything could still happen. There's still some close following going on. I don't think it's just out of Suzuki's reach for a move here, though. If it was last lap, maybe he'd try for a dive bomb, but that's not the smartest play. All right, on this back straight here. I don't think this is the official back straight, but it's a pretty long straight line. Back straight, you know. Coven and Kraft still on each other. Kraft still on Coven's tail. Coven with some impeccable defending here. Man is like an offensive lineman. Just can't get past him. At least a good one, that is. It's a bad, but Coven is definitely not a bad offensive lineman right here. Ooh, it's switched me to Durrick's POV. Durrish. I believe Johnson might be behind him. Nope, just Johnson and Scarda. Scarda right behind him. Coven looking, and Kraft's looking for a move on Coven onto the short straight. Into the final 2 corners. This might be taken all the way down to turn 1. I don't think Kraft wants to move into the last corner. Kraft with the slipstream on Coven into the final straight. Coven looking to negate that as much as possible. Ooh, what was that? Toma goes wide. Toma goes really wide into the sand. Oh, he will not like that. Look at his tires. Suzuki does get the position there. Suzuki into P3. Toma into P4. This thing says otherwise. Oh, there we go. Now it's updated. Oh, Toma's going to be kicking himself for that one. Toma has such impeccable defensive skills, but he just made one mistake. I'm telling you, especially in this the top 10, it's just one mistake. Then things can change so much. Cameraman, get ready. We need to hire a new cameraman. I swear, dude. Alright, now. Oh, it's actually Thierfelt. But where'd Schlacker go? Did he disconnect? Oh no, did he disconnect? I can't click on him or anything. I don't see him. Oh my goodness, I think he disconnected. Oh dang. What a heartbreak for... Oh my goodness, what a heartbreak. He was in a comfortable lead. I'm not talking about like he was fighting tooth and nail for it. He was sitting in a limousine type of lead. But then connection issues, man. It sucks, man. That sucks. I think he deserves points. He was in the lead for the majority of this race. Man, wow. But now the new positions are Thierfelt moves up into first place, Suzuki in the second place, Toma into third place, Anderson in the fourth place, Baumgartner into fifth place here, and then Coven and Kraft sixth and seventh. I mean, it could realistically go either way between the two of these. Excellent drivers. Coven though, they seem to build a little island for themselves. The nearest person behind Graft is like 10 seconds or something like that. My goodness gracious. Alright, the closest battles we have right now are Durick and Johnson, actually. Durick in the Aston Martin, Johnson in the other Lamborghini. Johnson's teammate Thierfelt is in the lead here, P1. Ooh, that's really close, side by side. Looking for the inside, nope. Durick keeps the position, Johnson backs off. He's getting mighty tight though. Into chase cam. Into the final two corners. He's going to be wanting something on the main straight. There's just a little bit too in, I think. I think he got a little bit of grass there. Johnson looking, searching. It's like a shark. He sees blood. He smells blood. He's going for blood. Maybe in the T1. Is he close enough? What a dive from Johnson. Does he get the move done though? He's in the inside. Durick just gets a fistful of marbles. And Johnson gets the move done. What a dive by Johnson. What a dive. Now Coven and Kraft still looking mighty tight. Kraft just needs that little bit more. He must be kicking himself right now. He just needs that little bit. He tastes the KFC chicken bucket family meal on the tip of his tongue. But yet the KFC delivery boy himself, Jack Coven. Oh, and Kraft does go wide. Kraft gets a whole lot of grass into that turn. A whole lot of grass. That's going to open things up quite nicely. No positions lost, of course. But that gap is so much bigger now. It went from 0.3 to 0.8. So much bigger. I didn't even notice that. That Ferrari must be a literal tractor. It did not care about that grass. Kraft still close to Coven. The gap is just over 1 second now. I believe that is Morton. Where is Morton actually in these standings? Oh, Morton will probably get blue flag for the two of these two here in the next couple of laps. As we enter the final 10 minutes though. Coven and Kraft still neck and neck. It's Thierfeld from Suski from Toma. There's been so much heartbreak in this race. There have been so many different race leaders. And all of them forced out of the victory, even out of the race. Well, not all of them. We still got Thierfeld right here. Hopefully we can break this streak. They've been forced out of the race through no fault of their own. So heartbreaking in this league. This league is definitely not for the faint of heart. This race, at least. Coven coming up on the back mark is going to want as much slipstream as possible into this main straight, though. This might be perfect for Coven, as he might get a fistful of slipstream. But Crash Hour might also get pulled along. Oh, he wants it. He wants a slipstream. Going into the last second, that was dangerously close from Coven. He wanted it all there. He almost pulled a Kid Icarus. He flew just close enough to the sun. Just close enough to the sun. Almost flew too close there and got burned. But you know who is pretty close right now? Kraft. Kraft is hungry. Kraft hasn't eaten in 3 days. He wants that KFC family meal. Staring at the thick rear of the Nissan. Kraft still hunting him down. They're pretty tight here. That top 4 or 5 position gap though. Pack though. That's really started to gap out a little bit. Gaps have really started to form. It's 5 seconds from 6, almost 7 seconds from Thierfeld to Suski, 3 seconds from Suski to Toma, about 4 seconds from Toma to Einerson, and then from there, it just fizzles out massively until you get to Coven and Kraft. Those two are like 2 peas in a pod right now. Just will not let up. Final 10 minutes of this race. Coven does not want him to get slipstream here. Kraft does not go for the move here. Coven keeping with it. Toma in P3. Toma has had victory and heartbreak in the same race. Thierfeld has had a steady climb up. Thierfeld easily passed Scarda, the lapped car. Thierfeld has had a steady climb up. Thierfeld is one of the fastest drivers in this league. For all the races I've commentated over, for all the 2, he's had consistently fast times. He's been consistently pacey here. Suski as well. Suski had a great qualifying last race. Suski is one of the faster drivers here. And then Toma as well. Toma had 4th last race. He's looking for 3rd here. Both races he's had the opportunity to get really high positions. Just those small little mistakes under the heat of the moment. That's where winners and losers are made. But Coven and Kraft, we want to see who's winners and who's losers out of this one. Now it looks like Coven does have the heads up here. The ahead. Kraft on his tail though. How many more times do we have to go through the main straight? Main straight again. Coven's going to try the same thing again. Kraft does get the slipstream though. Kraft's looking for the move into turn 1. They're side by side into turn 1. Kraft looks for the ahead. Ooh, Coven does get the inside line. Kraft gets a little bit of marbles. Kraft's coming back though. Looking for the switchback. Kraft was ahead there. Kraft had it. But Coven did have the inside line. Dangerously close in turn 3. Holding my breath every time these two get on the main straight. It's always a good battle. into sector 2. Anderson. Consistently fast as well. The league organizer. The main league organizer, Anderson. He's got a consistently good pace. I've noticed he's always in like the 3rd through like 7th range. He's a consistently very good driver. Very good driver. Baumgartner as well. He's had multiple podium finishes in this league, I believe. Something went up with him this race, though. He is in a very good P5, though. A very good P5. Well, there was like more than 16 people who started this race. So P5 is very good. But Coven and Kraft still side by side into turn 1. Don't do this to us again. Not again. Not again. This is the same thing. Kraft actually does have the upper hand here. Kraft, you tease. Oh, there's a bump. There's a bump. Kraft bumps Coven. Again, into turn 1, Kraft has bumped Coven. Coven does keep the track position, though. Coven looking like a rally driver there. Getting a little bit of Tokyo drift, whipping out the tail end. My goodness. Fearful and Dirt. Fearful easily gets past to the back marker there. Yet somehow Coven and Kraft still same position after all the bumps and bruises. These two have walked through the fire and the flames together. And yet still the track position remains the same. Coven in P6, Kraft in P7. I did not see who they passed, though. Stierfeld, Suski, Toma, Einerson, Baumgartner. Huh. I thought they were in P7 and P8. But on the main straight, here they go. Mate, bars. Coven does have position. Kraft's looking for another dive. Kraft's finally able to take an inside line on this turn 1. It is lap 33. They've been neck and neck with each other for about 15 laps now. 15 laps. Y'all, 15 laps. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? These two so close in skill. It's mind-boggling. Uh-oh. Someone was looking mighty slow there. Kraft still on Coven's butt. Kraft looking for the move. Kraft side by side with Coven, actually. Ooh, Coven does keep it. Coven knows his inside lines. That's how you can tell he knows this track well. He knows where to go to get that. Make sure you get that inside line at the end of the complex. But speaking of insides, Kraft looked like he wanted the inside there. Coven did have track position though. Coven is dictating this race. I mean, this battle from the front here. Very, very good racing from the both of these two. Kraft just pecking at his armor, but it seems like he cannot fall. The impenetrable fortress that is Coven. Onto the main straight. Let's see if that impenetrable fortress can be penetrated by a strong gust of wind that is Slipstream. They both go heavily into the marbles here. Side by side. Kraft does not go for the lunger. Good move. But up the inside, Kraft tries to go. Gets the big squeeze. And Kraft is in the grass. Takes a fistful of marbles. A bit of the grass to go along with it. But they're still neck and neck, people. Still neck and neck. Golly. Half a second separates these two drivers. My cameraman needs to be switched out. We need a new cameraman. Hit me up in the chat if you are a cameraman. Cause the game cameraman seems to be pretty bad. Does not seem to be pretty good for me right now. My goodness. Okay, I'm just getting some updates that it seems like the server connection might be a big part to play in this race. We'll talk about it after the race. As we are heading into the final minute, Coven and Kraft still on each other. Kraft's definitely growing restless here. As we head into the final minute, it is Thierfeld from Suski, from Toma. Ooh, actually, it looks like to be something close here. It might be a back marker though. Yup, it's a back marker. So it's Thierfeld from Suski, from Toma, from Einerson, from Baumgartner, in the KFC mobile, from Coven, from Kraft. That could change at any second. Coven from Kraft, from Johnson, from Durish, from Neolet, from Hernandez. The leaders on the final lap, Morton and Scarda, make up the bottom positions. Thierfeld is on the final lap. He'll be wanting to cruise his way home. If you look at his view, man, all he sees are victory. All he sees is victory. He's on the final lap here. Seems like in the top three, there isn't too much of a contest here. They just want to bring this car home. That is their biggest goal. But our biggest goal right now is watching this right here. Cohen versus Kraft. The leader is on the final lap. I believe these people are one lap down. I might be mistaken though. Either way, Kraft wanting to try something, anything to get past. Getting really close. Almost contact. Looks like there might be a little smidge of contact. Still deadly close. Deadly close. Into the final two turns. Kraft might want to get something up the main straight. He doesn't want something to the final turn. Loses a little bit of time to that final corner. Kraft's in the grass. Kraft is in the grass. He will be wanting that. He would have been wanting that. Is there one more lap for him? I believe, yes, this is their final lap. This is their last lap. They got to give it their all here. Kraft will have no more turn ones to try and get the move done, though. Coven will have to be defending like his heart depends on it. I mean, his race definitely does depend on it. All of this work, all this effort went into this race today. And Thierfeld has finished this race. Thierfeld with a miraculous drive. Riding through all of the hardship of other drivers. Thierfeld has amazing race pace here. Absolutely incredible race pace. But into the final two corners goes Coven and Kraft. Kraft, it's within his reach. Oh, you got a little bit too much of that inside curb, though. Oh, these aren't the final two corners. I am sorry. I thought those were. The track map is deceiving. Deadly deceiving. Look at this, though. Well, it seems like that gap has increased a little bit. That's the last Kraft wants. It's not 0.8 of a second. That's the biggest it's been in at least 10 laps. Oh, it's right close now. It's really close now. Into the final two corners. Sniffing. Kraft is sniffing that position here. Into the final two corners. In the last corner. Onto the main straight. Who gets it here? Coven does have the track position. Coven does not want to give up any slipstream here. But that line is way too close for Kraft. Coven will get the P6. Kraft was right there. Kraft was right there. Coven with the impeccable defense. The brick wall that is Coven. We'll take him. We'll take his KFC chicken bucket home. What a race for those two. What a race. What a race. Would you look at that? What a race, everybody. Now I do have some information. Artem Ertan, I believe. He was in the lead, but then it looks like Schlacker punted him. Apparently, it was a lag issue. There's so many lag issues. Actually, Stefan was running with a whole lot of damage there after that T-bone, after that pit maneuver. The server is pretty laggy for multiple people today, actually. Just based on what I'm reading in the Discord, go join that. My goodness. My goodness gracious, what a race. And thank you everybody for joining me on this race. Next week, let's see where we go next week, actually. I'm gonna have to find this. Alright, so we just did Zandvoort. Next race is Paul Ricard. Paul Ricard, that's where we're gonna see these drivers go their absolute fastest. Huge straight there. Make sure y'all tune into that. Same time, same place. And I'll catch y'all on the flip.